Hi everyone, and welcome to 35 Plus Where to Shop and our weekly retail review, where every week we look at retailers and brands based on style, personality, colour palette, dress code and body shape and work out whether it's right for you, and also showcase some of our favourites too. So this week, and I can't believe that I've waited this long to do a retail review on this particular brand. For some reason I thought I had already done it. But this week we are looking at Anthea Crawford. And Anthea Crawford has been around since 1976, and she started her career, I should say, in 1976, working with some of the top fashion brands in Melbourne and learning her trade there. And then she launched Anthea Crawford herself. So she's been around for over 40 years designing beautiful women's wear. And we're looking at more of that sort of smart business through to bar wear, cocktail and formal wear too. And the reason I can't believe it's taken me this long to review it is because I have so many wins, and so does Christy with our clients when it comes to finding those work or occasion pieces at Anthea Crawford. So let's take a look right now. So what I love about Anthea Crawford is that they use gorgeous fabrics. They really think about women's body shapes and creating that right proportion, like the 3 different proportions that I'm always going on about. So I really appreciate that. They also design and produce 98% of the clothing here in Australia. And they also are recognised by Ethical Clothing Australia as well. So if I was to look at body shape, style personality, I would say that style personality-wise, it's elegant, sultry and feminine. But as you see, as I describe some of my favourites, you'll notice that you'll see a little bit of rebellious and dramatic creeping in there. You'll have something that if you're a natural, but you have to move more into a classic for work maybe. And you'll see a little bit of the creative come in as well. When it comes to colour palette, again, it depends on the season. So we do see seasonal trends come through. However, I do have a lot of luck with ladies who are of a cooler colour palette. And most of what I'm showcasing today will probably be more cool rather than warm, but I've got a few neutrals that are coming in too. When it comes to body shape, it does work for all body shapes, definitely. And in particular, if you are a rectangle shape who is trying to create an hourglass shape, Anthea Crawford has some beautiful dresses that are perfect for you, because most of the dresses are at a raised waist, which I've talked about a lot in previous reviews as well. When it comes to sizing, we're looking at a size 8 to 18. And what I would say about sizing for Anthea Crawford is that they are actually quite generous in their sizing. So because of the stretch and construction of the fabric, so using a lot of jerseys and things like that, I do find that the sizing is a little bit generous. When we're looking at pricing, we're looking at from $359 for a dress, $219 for pants, $199 for tops, and then from $399 for jackets. And then we're looking at from that $749 for coats, and they are absolutely gorgeous. They are available across Australia, New Zealand and Singapore with stockists across those countries. They do have boutiques, standalone boutiques in Sydney, and they also have concessions in Myers and David Jones across Australia too. They have free delivery for orders over $399, or it's a $10 standard fee, or $20 for all express deliveries. International shipping is $35 and there are 30-day returns. Do check the website because there are different conditions depending on whether you buy online, in store, and then also at Myer or David Jones concessions as well. So before I dive in and tell you a little bit more about my favourites, what I want to say is this is episode 49 of our retail review. So, very excited. So next week we are looking at episode 50. And what I would love you to do is, we've obviously reviewed lots and lots of brands, but there are hundreds more out there. And what I would love you to do is in the comment below, let us know who you would like us to review. And I will pick one for next week. So don't be shy, just put it down. If we haven't reviewed it already, I will choose from the list that, is put in the comments below. So really want to review something that everyone wants to see, or maybe something a little bit different. or if you feel like we haven't really showcased your style, personality, or your colour palette enough, pop in a retailer that you, or a brand that you're a really big fan of, that you would like to spread the word about, and we will review that next week. So let's check out some of my favourites. So first up this week, we have the Forest Velour dress. And of course I was going to do, you know, I've taken every inch of my willpower not to show you sequins and sparkles this week, because you're probably sick of me showing sequins and sparkles. So I'm going for something else that has got a luxurious, I guess, really heightened feel to it. So I wanted to show you the Forest Velour dress. So obviously it is a beautiful, rich, deep forest green, and it's $459. You're looking at just below knee length for it. Style personality wise, I think that this is perfect for a classic, dramatic, rebellious, creative, sultry, feminine, or elegant. So the only person we're not including here is a natural, but look, if you're a natural with any of those others as a secondary or tertiary, I definitely think you can embrace it. It's one of those super versatile pieces. So if you think about a little black dress, this could be your little forest dress instead. And what I really love about this dress is that for body shapes, it really does work for all body shapes. So it's great for anyone that has a raised waist or feels like they want something that skims over the tummy area. One of the big things that Anthea Crawford does is this ruching around the side of a raised waist. And what I find is it really flattering for anyone who's concerned about the tummy area, because it really creates a skimming feel over there and creates a beautiful hourglass shape. So I do find it's really great for rectangles in particular, and also hourglasses, which is just mirroring their shape. It can be a little bit tricky, this sort of style of dress, for a triangle shape, because you can see that there's not a great deal happening to create that width across the shoulder line, other than the neckline being a little bit wider. So what I would suggest is, if you are a triangle body shape like me, what I would do here is I would do something with earrings to create that width across the shoulder line and bring the focus up, or I would have some sort of necklace or pendant that really creates a focal point up the top there to create width across the bust. Now this also might be a little bit tricky for inverted triangle shapes or anyone with a D cup and above. And what we talk about there is about creating space around the bust line. And there's an easy way to do that, and that's to create a V through jewellery. So a pendant, for example, will create a V and open up that space. So if that's something that's a little bit of a concern for you in terms of wanting to create space around the bust area, then that's a simple way to do that. So gorgeous Forest Velour dress, a really great alternative to a little black dress. What I would say is colour palette wise, you are looking at the deeper and softer colour palettes. So maybe your cool clear deep, although it might be a little bit too muted, cool muted soft, and also your warm muted deep or dark there too with that. So next up, this is very, very similar to the last dress. This is the python jersey dress. Now you can see the shape of it is very similar to our Forest Velour dress. The only difference is instead of a wider neckline, we're looking at a little bit of a V here, which does address some of those concerns I had in the last one around giving space around the bust. Now, as you can see, this has got a different print pattern in a beautiful, cooler blue, softer tones. So style personality wise, we are probably going to drop the classic. We're going to drop the rebellious, although they might go for it. It might be a little bit too much colour for the rebellious. We're going to drop the feminine and the elegant and say that this is more for your dramatic, your creative, and also your sultry style personality. And when it comes to colour palette, we are looking probably at those cooler and slightly softer tones as well coming through there. So you can see they will do this dress with slight variations to make it work for different style personalities, colours, and as well. The next thing that I wanted to show you is the teal burnout shirt. And that is in these beautiful, cool softer muted tones as well. If I would think about the style personality for this, we're looking still at that dramatic, rebellious, creative, sultry, and also elegant. And I would say elegant because it's got that sort of beautiful, subtle print or pattern that can be made to be more dramatic or creative or rebellious, but it's still appropriate for an elegant because it still looks quite rich and expensive. In terms of body shape, you would use this sort of shape blouse, which is quite a straight and what we call boxy and soft shape. We would use this to create what we call the inverted triangle shape, so to make the top half appear wider than the bottom half. So you can see that they've done this here by pairing it with a pair of skinny or straight pants. Now you can still actually create an hourglass shape with this too if you're going to tuck in. And if I was going to tuck in, I'd do it with a skirt or wide leg pants rather than with skinny pants, just because I feel like there's a little bit too much fabric to do it with the skinny or straight pant here. So the other option is, if you're not comfortable with doing the full tuck in, is to do that side magic tuck that we talk about all the time. Next up, we have the Pacific crepe dress. And the Pacific crepe dress, I wanted to show you this because it's a similar shape to the forest velour and the python jersey dress. However, it doesn't have as much ruching at the side. It's a similar neckline to that first dress. And for style personality wise, I say that this is much more for your classic, elegant, feminine, and those who are natural, maybe with a classic or elegant or feminine secondary or tertiary style personality. This would definitely be cooler, although it might be moving a little bit to neutral, so I haven't seen it in person, so I'd have to check that. Body shape wise, it will work for all because it is shaped more at a raised waist here. Again, if you're a D cup and above, you may need to create space, not always, but you may need to create space around that bust line by just using a pendant over the top there, or you can use a scarf to do that as well. And I find that this one is really great for work. It's just one of those easy, throw it on in the morning when you're running out of time, because you can really dress it up by pairing it with this cosmic tweed jacket. So this cosmic tweed jacket, I would say style personality wise, you're looking more towards your classic, elegant and also creative style personalities. I don't think this is probably quite feminine enough because of the check to it. It would be perfect with the crepe dress. It's also great with trousers. What I would say colour palette wise, you're looking at more neutral colours. So you can see there's a little bit of gold in there, but you've got the silvers and blues and that sort of ivory colour. So I'll work with the both cool and warm. However, I would say because of the texture of it, you are looking at colour palettes that are a little bit more muted or soft, as we would refer to them. And in terms of body shape, I would say it's quite good for a rectangle because this is a slightly boxier shape. It does have that, I guess, tapering, as you can see just in the back here. You can see that it tapers a little bit and creates a little bit of shape, but I wouldn't say it's cinching. So if you're going to wear this and you are an inverted triangle, a triangle or an hourglass, you probably want to wear this with skinny or straight pants to create an inverted triangle shape. Whereas if you're a rectangle, you can wear it over the crepe dress, for example, or you can wear it with wider leg pants as well, because you're that shape that can wear that straight up and down shape there. So they are just some of my favourites. So thank you so much for joining me this week for our retail review. This week, all about Anthea Crawford. I hope you have found some absolute gems. If you are looking for a really, really great dress for work or for a particular occasion, I would check out Anthea Crawford, just because their dress shapes are so flattering. I'm not joking when I say we have had so many wins with pieces from there. So definitely check it out. So if you want to find out more places that are going to be perfect for you based on your style, personality, colour palette, body shape and dress code, then pop on over to 35plusweartoshop.com, where you can download our free retail guide where we classify 90 retailers by those characteristics. Also, we have an awesome group of women in 35 Plus Wear to Shop, which is a Facebook group, and everyone is in there helping each other find the perfect pieces for them. And don't forget, next week is episode 50. So we would love to hear who you would like us to review. Until then, catch you then. Bye.